And now to sports. Last Friday, Ibrahim Gusau emerged as the 40th president of the Nigerian Football Federation at the 78th Annual General Assembly of the football ruling body, which took place in Benin, Edo State. Gusau replaces Amaju Melvin Pinnick, who recently completed his second term in office. Only 8 of the 11 aspirants were on the final ballot as Musa Amadu, Adam Mukhtar and Suleiman Yahya Kwande withdrew from the race. In the first round of election, Gusau polled 21 votes, Sheyi Akiyomi had 12 votes, and Shehu Diko recorded 6 votes.
Total of 1 vote. Accordingly, therefore, and having satisfied the requirements of the law, i.e. the NFF statutes, the guidelines for the election, as well as the electoral code of the NFF, I, Akunegbe Anthony Mali, Chairman of the NFF Electoral Committee, hereby declare and return Alhaji Ibrahim Gusau as duly elected and therefore the President-elect of the NFF. So we move to the next round of voting, please. Office of the first Vice President.
Quite a scene in Benin. Now, the new Supremo of Nigerian football joins us from Abuja City. I want to say thank you very much, Ibrahim Musa Gusau, the new NFF president.
Thank you very much, Aaron.
Yes, is it the title now? Are you getting used to the title of being called the president of the Nigeria Football Federation? Let's start it off from that particular point.
Well, I'm just beginning to be used to it, but I'm not still used to it.
Okay. All right. Now let's get it started.
Because
okay, go on. I'm listening to you.
Okay. No problem.
Okay, how relieved are you after emerging the winner? Because we saw that it was a keenly contested battle with a juggernaut in the presence or in the person of Sheyi Akiyomi, another very popular figure within the Congress. I'm talking about Shehu Diko, all running against you amidst several others. Musa Amadu, Ida Pitusai, David Doherty, quite a number of them. How relieved are you to have come out tops?
Well, we just have to thank Almighty God for that day. It has come and gone. And as I've said during my remark after the election, there is no loser, no winner. Football is the winner. So we just move ahead.
All right, move ahead, you say. So many Nigerians are not aware of your pedigree as a football administrator, or they are not aware of what you are capable of doing. Because certainly when they try to, of course, the near comparison will be the outgoing president talking about Amaju Melvin Pinnick and yourself. When they put you side by side, they say, who is Ibrahim Musa Gusau? Talk to us, talk to Nigerians. Who are you and what do you bring to the table?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, for those that knows me very well in the football administration, knows what I can do, what are my capabilities, because I have been in this administration of football for over 25 years, so both nationally and internationally. So for people to say they don't know my pedigree and what I can bring to the table, I think by the grace of God, very soon they will see what Ibrahim Gusau can bring to the table based on the vast experience I have in the administration of football, nationally and internationally.
All right, administration of football, national and international. We know, of course, you've been in CAF for the last 8 years, and we'll be hoping that you still strengthen that tie between Nigeria Football Federation and the Confederation of African Football. But now let's talk about the man you succeeded, Amaju Melvin Pinnick. He had a lot to say in that particular Congress, talking about the 78th Annual Congress of the Nigeria Football Federation. Before I come to you, let's listen to this clip.
Emphasis should be on football development, which possibly you might not see. So I don't want to bore you. Today is a day where we definitely will have to contend with a new leadership. From today, you don't need to give me life president and president emeritus. Once again, I love you guys. Forgive me. Love the Football Federation and pray for the success. Expunge your mind all forms of acrimony and bitterness, because it will only hurt you and cause you disease. To the contestants, I'm still your boss, whether you like it or not. You report to me. As a council member, I represent 22 African countries, the Anglophone, Nigeria included. I will always represent you with love, because Nigeria is a country that deep in my heart I love so much. Another thing I want to appeal to you, the Congress members: hurt somebody by telling the truth. Don't please him to tell him lies. And that is the truth. Whoever is going to lead today, please, let's not put pressure on him. Our country is going through a phase. Don't put pressure on him.
Now let's talk about the President Emeritus Amajume of Impinik, CAF member, FIFA member. Talk to us. What is your relationship with him? And what are you expecting to happen between yourself and the Ministry of Youth and Sports? Because we've seen clashes over the years. Let's start with the President.
Well, thank you very much. You know, I and Amajume Impinik have been together for the past 16 years, because we started this struggle around 2005, where we are all chairmen of our various states. And then that's how we started. And then we are like brothers. He's like my brother and a friend. And by the grace of God, we are going to continue like that until God ends our life. And you know, being him a CAF and FIFA council member, apart from the relationship I have with him, we just have to solicit for his support and advice whenever we feel it is important for us to do that. As you know, this game, he has a lot of experience on it, and we need to do everything possible to carry him along to make sure that we succeed.
All right, how about the Ministry of Youth and Sports? The last two ministers have had heated battles with the past president of the Nigerian Football Federation. Now you are taking over the reins of affairs in the glass house, as we used to call it. Talk to us. How do you mend the fences to ensure that this relationship is symbiotic?
Well, as you know, Ministry of Youth and Sport is like a supervisory ministry to NFF. And then we have to do our best to ensure that, by the grace of God, we have a very seamless relationship with them, so that to avoid all those conflicts, because it is only through that that we'll be able to achieve what we want to achieve. So by the grace of God, we'll do everything possible to ensure that at least we cooperate with them to ensure that we succeed.
All right. In that particular clip we played, the ex-president spoke about unity. He spoke about speaking the truth, spoke about quite a lot of things. But you and I know this. As a matter of fact, the elections would have held on Friday if an injunction or if a court order wasn't gotten from the Court of Appeal. And this has been going on for quite a while right now, whereby court cases, or the Nigerian Football Federation is taken to the court time and time again, and court cases hampering the activities of the Nigerian Football Federation. In the spirit of harmony and unity, what will you be doing to ensure that you bring all aggrieved parties to the table? And let's talk about court cases hampering and slowing down football in Nigeria is a thing of the past.
Well, as you know, as you said, we have a cases in court, which by the grace of God, our legal department and our external solicitors will do everything possible to see how we can end all those crises. But notwithstanding, we just have to come together and sit down on the table to see how we can reconcile our differences, because we are one family. It's one of the key areas that I want to start with, to ensure that at least we bring every stakeholder together to see how we can reconcile our differences, because it is the only way we are going to achieve what we want to achieve for Nigerians as far as football administration is concerned.
Now, you're a man that has been in the Nigerian sphere in terms of football for quite a while. Of course, you know you're a technocrat in terms of administration with what you've actually done in Zamfara State. Is this a new dawn for local players and local football? Because a lot of people have questioned that the league has failed local Nigerian players. Would it be different under your administration?
Well, if you go through the manifesto I presented during my declaration dinner, you see that one of the key areas I highlighted that I'm going to give emphasis on is grassroots development, using the instrumentality of the State Football Association and our local football councils. And also I vehemently talk about the league. Therefore, it is part of my agenda. And then, it is not about me alone. We are elected as a board, and everybody has something that he has to contribute to for us to succeed. So it is only when we sit down and we bring out all our ideas, and then we see how we can articulate it and see how we can bring a better policy for Nigerians, for us to do, make sure that at least we change the tune of football in Nigeria.
All right, let's talk about funding. Funding is always a sticking point when we talk about, when we look at football. Football has become very expensive to run in Nigeria. Talk to us, in terms of funding, what do you think you will be doing to ensure that we stay afloat?
Well, everybody will talk about funding, but the key thing is people should understand is we just have to try as much as possible to do that, to make sure that we do things right. If we are able to set up our policies and then we pursue it vigorously and we succeeded in that, then the end result will be the better performance of our national team. As long as we are able to get it right with our national team, especially the Super Eagles. So the issue of funding, you see how it will start coming. But whatever we are going to talk about funding, whatever person you say you have that can bring money to the table, if you are not able to do the right thing for our national teams to have better results, you should forget it. That's why I told you, we'll sit down, we'll come out with a better policies that will help us to ensure that we started changing the results. We started changing the narratives, because it is only by doing that all those corporate society will try to knock at our door to look at how they can partner with us to bring more money. And by the grace of God, that is what we intend to do. And Nigerians will see it by just a very short period of time.
All right, Nigerians will see it by a very short period of time. And I've asked about the league, but you spoke about grassroots. We know that Nigeria is still in the offing in some cadre competitions, and certainly that will be the first point of call for you when you resume on Monday. Talk to us about your plans for the under-17, the under-20. Talk to us.
Well, thank God, during our last administration, we try as much as possible to have a very robust age grade teams, which is under-17 and under-20, which you are aware they won their zonal tournaments, that is at the WAPU level, both the under-17 and the under-20. And the Nations Cup will be coming off sometimes early next year. And you see the crop of players we have in those two various cadre of teams. And by the grace of God, we will do everything possible to support them to ensure that at least we take it from there. And I know those young boys, as we see them during their competition at the WAPU level, they are going to make us proud, and we'll do everything possible to support them to ensure that they progress. And so that in a very short time, we'll try to see how we can raise that element of talking about no much local players playing in our Super Eagles.
All right, finally, they say Ibrahim Gusau is a perfect gentleman, but the footballing sphere is almost like a jungle where there are lions and very, very ferocious animals that are always ready to prey and pounce on weakness. Do you think you being a gentleman might work against you? Or do you think this is your strategy of succeeding as the president of the Nigerian Football Federation?
Well, when they say a gentleman, it depends on how you try to look at it. But all I know is the most important thing is for me to be focused and to make sure that we bring every stakeholder along who is genuinely interested in supporting us to achieve success for Nigerian football.
All right, I want to say thank you very much. This is the first of many discussions we'll be having on Nigerian football and football in general. We wish you all the best.